So, this week on the Silly Vicar Show, we're talking about how everything is passé. And we're also asking Zoe an important question. What was the first gig that you went to?
Chesney Hawkes.
Chesney Hawkes! So, hello and welcome to the Silly Vicar Show. And listen.
Cheesy song.
Oh, that is awful. That is possibly one of the worst songs ever made. And if you remember back whenever it was in 1990, something like that, Chesney Hawkes in May was the best thing ever. And everybody loved him. And some people even went to his concerts. Can't think who that was. But some people absolutely loved him more than ever. But in November of the same year, at the Smash Hits Poll Winners Party, Chesney Hawkes won the worst everything. Every prize that you could get for the worst haircut, the worst song, worst everything, Chesney Hawkes won. But also as well, I have a confession to make, is that I did once go to an even worse concert. Yeah.
Steps.
Alright.
It's dreadful, that song.
I was the only straight man who didn't have a child at the Steps concert in 2000. And now I feel massively embarrassed about Steps. But at the time we thought they were great. And I think that is our society. And our society is shown more than anything else by the mini vicar here with the new Amazon app. And the tagline for the new Amazon app is thought it, bought it. But Amazon have left one important part out. And the first example we're going to have here, I thought it, or my son thought it. He really wanted this. It was epic, Mickey too. He thought it.
2012 it came out. I had to wait 3 years for it.
Oh, he loved it. He thought it, he bought it, and then he binned it, because he thought it, he bought it, then he binned it. And that's our society. We think it, we buy it, and we bin it. Now, the next thing that's come up here, another example here, is my wife. She was obsessed with this. She loved it. She thought it, and she bought it. That's right. All those spiralised vegetables, spiralised carrots, spiralised this. We tried it. We thought it, we bought it, and then we binned it. Absolute. Next year, nobody's going to be spiralising anything. We thought it, we bought it, and we binned it. That's how it works. And nothing is worse, really, than, oh, this. I thought it, and I bought it. I wore this at my wedding. And it was fantastic in 2000, and now it is immortalised in my wedding photos. And now I would love to bin it. No, I can't bin it. I can't bin it.
It's very special. You had it on your wedding. No.
I can't bin it. That's the only thing I can't bin. But I thought it, I bought it, and then I can't even bin that. But maybe the worst example of how we do this, we think it, we buy it, and then we bin it, are these things. This is the iPhone 4, the thing that everybody wanted. And they thought it, they bought it, and now what is everybody doing with their iPhone 4s?
Binning it.
They're binning it, or they're giving it to their kids because they don't know what else to do with it. So
1 second you buy it, the next second you bin it, next second you buy the new one, next second you bin it, and it goes on in a circle.
It's on and on and on. And the other week, I went to the dump up in our local Whitchurch dump, and I was thinking, as I was chucking all this stuff in there, I was thinking, why not short circuit this cycle and just not buy the stuff in the first place? But the worst thing about all this is that sometimes we treat our relationships like that. We see people a bit like things, and we treat people in the same way as we treat things. And the thing is, all these stuff, Chesney Hawkes, Steps, iPhones...
He's not the one and only.
That's right. We think of them and they're so shiny and so wonderful that we just want them. And we want them so much that we forget what's really important. We forget those great gifts that God has given us.
What,
we
like
forget
the girls with One Direction? Say one them lot, don't they?
Well, let's not talk about One Direction too much, otherwise we'll get in trouble.
And we'll get infected.
Well, yeah. So, the gifts that God gives us are ones which don't seem so shiny and wonderful at first. And one of the gifts that God has given me is my priesthood. And every time I do a service, I put on one of these things, which is a scarf. And before I put it on, or a stole, and before I put it on, I have to kiss it like this and put it on. And that reminds me of the great gift that God has given me. And the thing is with all of us, we're so much concentrated on seeing things and then buying them, thought it, bought it, bin it. We're so obsessed with that that we forget those people who are really important. We forget about God and we forget about our relationships. So what I would suggest is that we do a different cycle, which is far better. We remember them, we love them, and then we keep them. That's what we need to do.
Ah, you get me, not that stupid phone, you kept me.
Yeah, that's right. So I remember them, you keep them, and then you remember them, you love them, and then you keep them. So what I want you to do is put 3 things in the comments. One thing, I want you to admit to an embarrassing thing that you bought, and then you binned. The second thing is I want to think about a person who you would like to remember. And thirdly, I want you to put down in the comments, what are you going to do to help you remember that person? So, see you next time on the Silly Vicar Show.
And remember, he's not the one and only.
So, hello and welcome again to the Silly Vicar Show. And what were you in? It's an advert! So thanks for watching the Silly Vicar Show. If you liked it, you want to see more, subscribe underneath. And thanks to Andrew for being our production assistant today and helping us with all the different special effects. And as well, if you like it, like me on Facebook, Instagram, or read my blog at the bottom. So see you next week.